So welcome to another episode of Big Size Backyard Barbecue. Today we're going to be cooking a real crowd pleaser. It's a pork belly burnt ends. So rather than trying to cook the pork belly and get crackling on it, we've taken the skin off. We're going to season the pork belly up and we're going to cook it reasonably hot and fast, and then dice it into little bite-sized chunks, and then coat them in a barbecue sauce and maple syrup mix, and then finish them off in the smoker, and they are to die for, man. They're so good. Okay, so as is the way of these things, the first thing we need to do is light the fire. In a slightly different approach today. I'm actually going to light this. I've got the basket, as you can see, high up because we're going hot and fast, and I'm going to light this and then probably stoke it, because I've had a bit of trouble just lately getting this to light and not smoke like all hell, which, as you can see, it's doing straight away. So hopefully now that'll catch and take, and that lump wood will take, and then that'll light the coals. You'll see. So I've had a bit of some of these coals. You can see it's a partially burned coal, but they didn't light properly last time, so I'm not throwing them away. Fuel's too expensive to throw away. So what I've actually done now, I've closed the lid, which I wouldn't normally do to light it, but the amount of smoke that those firelighters kick out, man, it's just out the gate. So I've decided I've got plenty of time to get up to temperature, so I'm just going to leave it be and let it burn in. I did actually buy this piece and then froze it, so I've taken it out of the fridge this morning, the skin's off, and I have left it in the fridge to dry out a bit, and now we're going to put it on the board, and then we'll get some rub onto it, get some flavour going, eh? So there we have the pork belly, and that's the skin that's just been also drying out in the fridge. So you can see it's all now pretty dry, looking bloody fantastic. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to hit this with a bit of the rum and Q rub. This one is the hazy IPA seasoning. Ooh, it even sounded like a beer opening. Oh, I think that'll be pretty good. Give it a quick pat. Don't forget the sides. So never be shy with a rub. Always get plenty in there. So make sure you get those sides. We will actually be giving this another dose later on, because I will be cutting it into strips, sort of this way. That makes it cook a bit quicker, and it's a much better effect for getting the burnt ends, which is what we're after. So as I said, one of the things we need to do is to cut this into strips. So you want your strips to be about as wide as a bite's going to be. It just means you can get a bit more flavour in, and it makes them easier to cook. If you cut it into the little bite-sized pieces now, it's a pain to cook. Whereas if you do sort of these strips, it just makes it a little bit easier to cook, and you can then get some more flavour onto these. Stack them up with a bit more of our IPA rub. Lucky for me, the wind's got up to make sure I get a thin coating. There we go. As much of that rub on as we can. Fantastic. Righto, so now the pit's up to temperature. We're up at, there you go, we're at 275. Now it's time to get these badgers, well, not badgers, it's pork belly, but to get this onto the pit. So there we go. And we'll say goodbye to them for about an hour and a half, and then come back and flip them over. So these things have been on the on the go now for an hour and a half. So we'll have a quick probe and see what they're looking like. Well, that's what they look like. So let's just see. Oh, it's pretty tender. So we're 149. 170. 172. So those are cooked, but they're not done because obviously the clue is in the burnt ends, so they need to be pretty well done. So I'll just flip them over to get rid of some more of that fat. So we'll give them another, what, probably half an hour, I suppose. And then we'll see what time it is, because we're aiming for about 6 o'clock eat. So another half an hour they should be cooked and be about bloody right. So yeah, so now I need to go inside and make the mango salsa, which is what we've decided we're having. So we've reached the point where we now need to get the sauce that's going to make it burnt ends on the go. So we've had our little pot warming. So in our little pot we want about half a thingy of barbecue sauce and about the same of maple syrup. And we'll just give that a little stir up, remembering that the pan handle is going to be warm because it's been in the barbecue. Go over here and pop that rascal back in there. At the same time, we'll whip these out. And now we've got them out, we just cut them into bite-sized pieces. And then chuck them in the tray. Grab our little pot of now beautifully warmed barbecue sauce and drizzle that all over. There you go, take them like that. They then go back in there. The pork belly burnt ends, or pork belly bites, whichever you want to call them, they will definitely go well in that sauce. I will come and give them a stir in about 10-20 minutes and see how it's all looking. Really challenging the low light capabilities now of the old Sony. I'll take them in the house and then you can see them. So there we have our lovely pork belly burnt ends. And it looks like we might have got some crackling as well. But I did do that separately. Winter in New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere, it's now gone pretty dark. We're about to have our pork belly burnt ends for a dinner. So, and don't forget, if you want to see more of these videos, give us a like, click the subscribe button, ring the bell, and then every time I release a video, you'll get notified. Okay, I'm going to go and enjoy my pork belly burnt ends and my mango salsa. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.